Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Today, we're talking big names on the campaign trail and big tech's open letter, plus an HBO blackout and House of Cards final season. Those stories and many more in less than 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Friday, November 2nd. You ready? Let's do this. From President Trump to Oprah, big names are getting out to rally voters to support their chosen candidates in the final days leading up to Election Day next Tuesday. President Trump was in Missouri last night supporting the Republican candidate for Senate, just part of his 6-day, 11-rally campaign tour. And in Georgia, two big names supported opposite candidates in one of the country's most high-profile races. Vice President Mike Pence showed his support for the Republican candidate for governor, Brian Kemp. Oprah was in the same state of Georgia supporting the Democratic candidate, Stacey Abrams. And Oprah was even knocking on doors and surprising unsuspecting homeowners with a push to vote. If Abrams wins, she'll become the first governor in America that is a black woman. President Trump continues to talk about the migrant caravan heading toward the U.S.-Mexico border. President Trump now says there will be massive tent cities built for migrants who try to come into the U.S., and the AP reports he plans to detain them and not release them while they wait for their legal cases in court. The president said anyone who crosses the border illegally cannot claim asylum either, and he claimed the migrant caravan is an invasion. Others say it's not, and that he's only using that dangerous-sounding word to cause fear before the election. Some legal experts told Time that detaining migrants for too long or stopping them from claiming asylum may not be legal, and at the very least, it'll be challenged in court. Still, President Trump promised to reveal an executive order next week on the topic, but didn't give details just yet. Remember, 4,000 or so Central American migrants are walking toward the border. They're fleeing violence and poverty, but they're still hundreds of miles and weeks away from the U.S. border. Big tech versus Trump. It's another one of President Trump's potential policies that has some top tech companies speaking out. A list of more than 50 companies, including Apple, Google, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Microsoft, and more, signed a letter to show they are against a possible plan to limit the legal definition of gender. Remember, the New York Times recently reported that the Trump administration is thinking about clarifying the legal definition of gender as biological, or the gender someone was born with. So if that were to be put in place, it might mean transgender people are not protected under certain anti-discrimination laws. CNBC reports the statement from the companies says, quote, diversity and inclusion are good for business, and, quote, transgender people are our beloved family members and friends and our valued team members. Together, those companies have nearly 4.8 million employees. For now, the administration is not commenting. Speaking of big tech, Apple revealed its earnings and holiday projections, and it sent its stock falling. The holiday estimates were a bit lower than analysts had predicted, even though MarketWatch said the company's prediction would be record revenue for the holiday season, between $89 and $93 billion. In fact, Business Insider says Apple's revenue is already up 20% from last year, and the average price of an iPhone is also up. But Apple announced it'll no longer give out how many iPhones, iPads, and Macs it's selling. A quick break now to thank our sponsor this week, HelloFresh, because I always have such a great experience making and eating these meals. HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that does the shopping and all the planning for you and then delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can just cook, eat, and enjoy. I've told you before I'm not a great cook, but HelloFresh really helps me feel like one. I also actually look forward to cooking with HelloFresh, and I feel like I have time to do it because recipes only take about 30 minutes to make. I enjoyed making chicken pineapple quesadillas with homemade pico de gallo and southwestern spices, for example. I also love that each box comes with fresh, responsibly obtained ingredients. And you get meals delivered right to your door for less than $10 a serving, plus free shipping. And if you haven't tried it yet, you can get a total of $60 off when you go to HelloFresh.com/newsworthy60 and enter that promo code newsworthy60. That's HelloFresh.com/newsworthy60 and enter that code newsworthy60 for a total of $60 off. Now back to the news. Tesla's CEO Elon Musk tweeted that a software upgrade is coming soon that'll allow Teslas to follow you like a pet. The upgrade is to its auto park technology called Summon. Musk says the new feature will allow Tesla cars made in the last 2 years to drive to your phone location while you hold down the Summon button on your Tesla app. Musk claims that upgrade is coming in the next 6 weeks. If you are one of the millions of Dish Network customers that includes Sling TV, you don't have access to HBO as of this morning. The LA Times says it's the first ever blackout of HBO in its more than 40-year history. So why is it happening? Well, at first glance, the two companies cannot seem to agree on a new deal, but some are saying it's more than that. HBO recently got a new owner, AT&T, which, by the way, owns Dish's biggest competitor, DirecTV. The Justice Department says this is exactly why it tried to stop AT&T from taking over Time Warner, which includes HBO, CNN, and more. Dish blamed the blackout on the takeover as well, but HBO says Dish is offering unreasonable proposals, so stay tuned if customers will get back HBO or not. But today, all eyes are on streaming TV. The 6th and final season of House of Cards arrives today. And remember, this season will not have the former star, Kevin Spacey. It's nearly a year now since those first allegations of sexual assault came out against him, and he was then kicked off the show. The Guardian says it's the first major show to go on without its main character. Spacey was even an executive producer, but he was fired. Although the showrunners told Variety his character's presence will still be felt throughout the season. But it's Robin Wright's character, Claire Underwood, who is now the star, and she directed this final season. And remember, House of Cards was Netflix's first original series. Variety says it sort of planted a stake in the ground for Netflix and even set a template for all streaming TV, which of course has gotten even more popular over the years. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to read more about any of the news stories we talked about, just head on over to thenewsworthy.com, click episodes, and look for today's date. The Newsworthy is ready for you to listen every weekday by 4 in the morning, so I'll be back with more news on Monday. Have a great weekend.